How do we define success? There are many different tactics for how to be successful in life, but the strategy that works the best for us depends upon our view of success itself. We often think of it as doing well at work or earning a high salary. Many a times, professional accomplishments can be one piece of the puzzle, but at the same time, it leaves out many other important aspects of life. Those aspects can be family, relations, academics, athletics, sports, and many other things. Now, what our individual definition of success is may be varying with other people. We may be defining success in one manner, at the same time, another person, maybe our brother, sister, sibling, friend, peer, may be defining success in some other manner. Good evening, friends. Dr. Gagandeep Kaur Gulati, this side from Weaving Dreams. This Weaving Dreams is a platform wherein we keep on organizing various talk shows, may it be Edu talk show that we are having today, or youth talk shows, interviews, and many other competitions and contests. So today we have gathered here for the Edu Leaders talk show. Today we have very renowned, very senior personalities with us. I'll just be introducing them all one by one so that we can talk to them, we can speak to them on the theme of today, ways and means to be successful in the turbulent times. We have with us Dr. Manpreet Singh Manna. He is the professor at SLIT Longowal. He is a former director AICTE and founder Swayam. Sat Sri Akal, sir. Good evening, sir. You're very much welcome to your own platform, to your own channel.
Sat Sri Akal ji, thank you. Thank you for inviting me for this particular event. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here, sir. Then we have today Mr. Jagmohan Singh ji. He is the head Life Skills Development EI program. He is a leader, Future Ready Team, Taylor's University, Lakeside Campus, Malaysia. We are inviting him for the first time here today on our platform of Weaving Dreams, and we really hope that we would be continually inviting him and he would be accepting our request to be here with us every time. Good evening, sir. Sat Sri Akal ji. You are welcome to the show.
Sat Sri Akal, thank you for having me and looking forward to the talk.
Thank you so much for being here, sir. Then we have Dr. Inderpreet Kaur. Good evening, ma'am. Sat Sri Akal ji. Inderpreet ma'am is presently teaching at GNEC Ludhiana, Punjab, and she is the one whom I feel I always get motivated from. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here today.
Thank you. Looking forward to interact during this session. Thank you.
Exactly, ma'am. We all are. Thank you for being here. So before we further move on with the theme for today, the ways and means to be successful in the turbulent times. So first of all, can I request Dr. Manna, if I'll be asking you all one by one, just as I started, for us all, the meaning of success is different. It's quite possible in a family itself, there are two siblings, even they may be defining success in a different manner. The parents may be defining success in a different manner. So I would be requesting you all to tell your perception of success. What do you think success means? So we start with you, Dr. Manna.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Gagan. In fact, I would like to congratulate you, and I feel delighted, at least after 18 months of this, pandemic word, you brought a turbulence word. And this word has a meaning, in a physics, when we teach in the students, we always teach, if you want to see the energy in a fluid, you will find an energy in a fluid on the turbulence. No boat can sail until unless it is a turbulence. Streamline flow is good enough, but the turbulence always creates opportunities. But anyhow, you are asking here for the first is a success part. I'll tell you one thing. It is the story of success comes from the inherent voice of anyone. If you have a zeal to do something in your life and you could do it in a right channel, a right platform, you will become a successful. You can be a or leader or sportsman, of course, a teacher or anything, a successful. This successful carries a very important word in between, that is called satisfaction. If your success comes with the satisfaction, then I think in a true spirit it's a success. Otherwise, it's a success only in the line of others. When others are giving a applause to your work, you maybe sacrifice a lot in your life, and people say, "Oh, you are a great successful." You say, "You never know what's the pain I'm carrying with me, on the what particular conditions I could reach to this level of success." But with the satisfaction, if it comes, then you are also joyful. You too enjoy your success, and others are also looking to you as a role model, as a key person, as a successful person in this country, in this world. That is a success. Of course, success can be enjoyed with the parents, family members, neighbors, relatives, and of course, society. But if the success can be enjoyed first with yourself, with your inner voice, I think that is a true success, because that success is reached in a very ethical manner, with a very true manner, to be brought you to this level of position from where you started to be become a success. And there is no any kind of thermometer I could find where we can measure the ratio and the rating of success, whether I'm 100% successful or whether I'm a 10% successful. End of the day, we are successful if we have taken one more day in a happiness way. That is a great success. That's I just wanted to say here.
Yes, sir, perfectly put. First, we normally we set our own goals accordingly. If we feel that we have actually tried to attain those goals, and at least we feel contented, ki yes, whatever I wanted to attain in whatever capacity, with my ability, with my capabilities, yes, if I feel contented, that is most important, and we are successful. We feel that we are successful. Totally correctly said, sir. Mr. Jagmohan Singh, I would like to ask you, and if you can just brief us something about yourself also as well, because all the audience who is watching you today, probably we are meeting here for the first time, and maybe we would like to know a little more about you and your perspective on the word success.
Right. Thank you very much for having me. Um, I've been mostly in the humanitarian sector. From the corporate sector,
I think there is some internet.
can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Right, I'll go on speaking. I have a background mainly in human resources, as well as being in the humanitarian sector for a long time before coming back to the university sector. The thing is about success. It's very interesting because, as you rightly pointed out, Dr. Gagandeep, that success means differently, very different to different people. The thing is that we are trying to reach out and educate the youths. So the youths, we have to understand that there's huge amount of pressure on them. There's tremendous amount of pressure put on them to be successful. This pressure is put on them by society, by their parents, by the people around them, and sometimes they put it upon themselves. They are at a point of time in their life when they have a lot of expectations, and yet they're also coming into a very demanding situation in their life where they're getting into relationships as well. So most of the time, a lot of attention is needed in their development towards mental health as well, if you want to see them in a more holistic manner. So success, we have to first realize that there's a potential for everybody to be successful. The creative potential is locked inside every single person. It's like a seed that will grow up to become a huge tree. That tree, the potential of that tree is locked inside that seed. And just like that, the potential for every human being to be successful is there. It's locked inside of them. And it's only a matter of stepping out of their comfort zone and going into the fear zone, the learning zone, and then the growth zone in order to achieve what they are set out to be. Now, when they do that, a lot of people out there, they have it inside of them, but the biggest thing that stops them from being successful is the fear of success. So if they are afraid to take the first step, they probably, a lot of people take their ambitions with them into the grave or into the crematorium. So we have to first challenge ourselves to know that it's okay to fall down, it's okay to fail, and then to have the resilience to pick ourselves up again. Because life is not meant to be rainbows and unicorns and you being the special snowflake. No, life is a battlefield. You're supposed to go through life and you're supposed to wear them scars proudly on you. And at times when you fall down, people will kick dirt into your face, but you have to have the ability, the grit, the resilience to stand up again. and push on until you get to this thing that you call success. So the first thing we have to realize is the creative potential of every human being to be successful is there. The creator, the maker, has already put it inside of them. It's locked inside of them. It's not locked in some cave or some mountain or in the heavens or anywhere. It's inside of them. And the other thing we have to do is to define success. So there are many definitions of success. This is a simple definition I offer, which is to the completion or the fulfillment of the original intent of why you were born. As simple as that. The completion and the fulfillment of the original intent or core purpose of what you were meant to achieve in your life before you die. So how do you achieve that? That's all up to you to discover. So you have to go into and find out what ticks you, what's your core purpose, what are your values that drive you. You have to realize and discover the talent, the innate talent inside of you, the potential that you have. The Japanese have a very good system, it's called the ikigai, but to put it very simply, is to realize your number one, your talent. What are you naturally good at, better than anybody else? Then after you discover your talent, you discover your passion. What are you passionate about in achieving? Then you go on to discover how would you like to be of service to humanity or the society or the community around you. And finally, does it tie into the values that you hold on to, that guide you in life, that guide every decision that you make? So if you find yourself everything is aligned, you happen to be in a sweet spot. So that's a bit of a definition of success. And the interesting thing is the stages that we go through in life. Often people they go straight into a sense of security. There's these people, some people are born much lower, but most of us are born in the sense at a level of security. And there are some who are born a bit lower, which is survival. Survival is when you're really worried about the roof over your head, the clothes on your back, whether you're going to get your next meal or not. But most of us are born into a sense of security already, where we have everything, we are getting by, the bills are getting paid, we are having a bit of comfort in our lives. Some of us, a certain percentage of us, go on higher into a level of what is known as success. So at success, at the level of success, you have privy or you have access to certain amount of resources that other people don't. You will start to enjoy some form of luxury. Um, but you have to be careful because at this stage, you're still very much driven by your own agenda. You're still driven by your very own, wants and wishes and needs, and you got to be careful because you could be hit by ego or the other things that may come in your way to block you from achieving a higher step, which I call significance. So the highest level you can reach is significance. This is where you worry more about people around you rather than yourself. You care for people more than you care for yourself. Now, when I started off in the corporate world, I was very much worried about my own self. But there came a point of time in my life, especially when the tsunami happened in Aceh, I found my core purpose really came very strongly, and I dropped everything and I went there. And when I came back, I had a tough decision to make. Do I follow what is defined by my parents or the society as what success is in the corporate world, or do I pursue my passion? So I decided to drop everything and I went into the humanitarian sector. I looked at United Nations, Red Cross, and compared a few, but found Doctors Without Borders were the best, Médecins Sans Frontières. So I decided to go for it, and I gave myself 5 years initially before I go back to the corporate sector. But it became so wonderful because every day you're talking about saving lives and alleviating sufferings around the world. So then I just extended to another 5 years into 10 years. And during the 10 years, then I discovered one thing, that all the conflicts, all the problems in the world were caused by the wrong people who happened to be at the right place at the right time. So that causes a lot of problems to people. And so I decided to change my focus to youths because they are going to be the future leaders. They're going to take people to the progressive societies. So I want to say one last thing before I end about success is that what a tragedy if you are successful for the wrong reasons. What a tragedy it is if your success causes misery and pain to people around you. that's why I feel that you have to go one step higher, which is significance. Thank you.
Thank you for perfectly putting it. I especially like your perception about success, that it also depends upon values. When our talent, our ability, and the values are aligned, and the values are fed from our own families. And if they have, obviously, and I always feel that values can never be incorrect. It's just the way how we accept and inherit those values in us, and accordingly, we define our own milestones, and we know that we are actually doing something good for the other person. What do we value in life? This is what I think is the meaning of values. For what is the worth for certain things? And you just so rightly explained that if we are doing something good for the society, for the humanitarian cause, then that means we should feel that yes, we are being successful, because somewhere there we are trying to align our values to what we are achieving. I hope I am right. So I hope I'm able to gather this thing correctly from what you explained.
Perfectly.
Thank you so much. So finally, now we come to Dr. Inderpreet, ma'am. Ma'am, in your because you've been dealing with the students of the university, and probably many of them have always also from been from the rural background as well. You know? So, what do you think success means from your perspective?
Okay, thank you. There are actually so many ways to define success. Even in during this platform, we define success in a different way, but their outcome or the objective of success is although the same. So, as per my perspective, there are so many definitions or lines to define it, but there is one line which I think you all great people will agree upon. So success is walking through failure and failure without fading your enthusiasm. So it is my way of perspective. So very rightly said by Thomas Watson that what is the reason or what is the logic to achieve the success? There is only one simple answer: do the failures or double the failure rate of yours. You will definitely achieve success because you will able to learn from your failures. So it is basically the success is directly correlated with the failures. So sometimes people say you are baglol, or you do the things like that, or you are a confused personality doing mistakes again and again. But definitely from that mistakes you may be going to learn the through that failure past you may able to achieve the success. Definitely, the success means values in, though you should be resilient, you should be optimistic, you should think about the positivity. Never gather the negative vibes around you. So stay positive. This is how we can achieve success. And one very basic mantra to achieve success, as per my perspective or my point of view, is do one thing in a day that scares you. So definitely that scary thing when you do again and again, maybe you don't achieve that thing which you are able to which is scared you in a first attempt, but definitely from your experience, from that mistake you can learn more and more. There is I want to like share one more thing. शाम सूरज को ढलना सिखाती है, शाम सूरज को ढलना सिखाती है, शम्मा परवाने को जलना सिखाती है, गिरने वालों को होती है तकलीफ, पर ठोकर ही इंसान को चलना सिखाती है. So this is how we can be succeed of our life. Thank you.
So nicely put, ma'am, that even if we keep on failing, but we should not fear failure. And ਇੱਕ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਖਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਟੀਚਰਸ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਥੱਕਦਾ ਜਾ ਪਰ ਅੱਕੀ ਨਾ. Thak ja par ak na, keep on doing, keep on working till the time you gain success. And what Dr. Manna and Dr. Mr. Jagmona have rightly put, till the time you think you are doing correct things, till the time you are doing something which is valuable for the society and for humanitarian cause, keep on working, and obviously for ourselves also. Because we set our own milestones, and till the time we have in mind that we are on the correct path, keep on working hard. So nicely said. So now we would come to the next part. We are talking about turbulent times now. You know? So do you think, each one of you, please tell me that, do you think is it easy, even if we keep on trying to work very hard, but is it really so easy to be successful in turbulent times also? Probably because we may be having less of resources, we may be having negativity all around. So many people around us may not be with so much of enthusiasm or optimism. So still, can we attain success? I would be asking this question to each one of you, please. And Dr. Manna, we can start with you.
Okay, yeah. Until unless you name someone, everybody will wait for pehle aap. So better you should name, because we are in the class and you are the monitor here. Okay, well, this is very relevant question, but I am not in view of that. You said it is a turbulent time. You're talking a turbulent time. It is in a one perspective. What is the turbulence? Outside. Every human being, from their birth, I think till their last breath, they have the turbulence 24/7 inside. And I should say, as from my Gurbani, Jo Barmande Sohi Pinde. Jo Barmande Sohi Pinde, Jo Khoje So Pai. So it is the turbulence for the other scenario. Means maybe you're having some physical resources shortage, maybe some economy, slowdown. Maybe your health care is going to be not looked after properly. But for becoming a successful person, until unless you cope up with your internal turbulence, which is there, which is maybe going to be more accelerated because of this external environment forces. But with the same time, I'll ask one question. I think history everybody have read, whoever is sitting and who is listening to me. In the history, you look at to any Shastra and Grantha, you look at to the Krishna's time. What was the turbulence there? वो कौरव थे, वो 5 पांडव थे. Look at to our Guru Nanak, Guru Arjan, Guru Tegh Bahadur, हिंद की चादर. टर्बुलेंस था. ये टर्बुलेंस तो उसके सामने कुछ भी नहीं, उन्होंने तो शहीदियां दी थी. They have, उनके पास सेकंड, हमारे पास तो सेकंड अल्टरनेट है. यू ब्रिंग ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर, यू ब्रिंग स्टीरॉइड और समथिंग. ये टर्बुलेंस नहीं है. इट्स नॉट अ टर्बुलेंस. इट इज अ ह्यूमन मैन क्रिएटेड टर्बुलेंस. हमने नेचर के साथ खिलवाड़ किया, टर्बुलेंस आया. All this kind of, कभी साइक्लोन आ रहा है, कभी फ्लड्स आ रहे हैं. Now this is somebody says it's a man-made virus has been created by one country reaching here. I'm not going in any debate on that, because it's not my topic and I'm not a scientist in that area to be speak something on that. But one thing I can tell, yes, turbulence is there, and turbulence were every time. Look at to the different states. When something was happening in a Punjab for 10 years, there was a big turbulence for we people. I was a young. I was studying in a college. It was, I have no future. See the turbulence of Jammu Kashmir for so many years. See the turbulence in the Naxal areas. There is a turbulence. Now it is a turbulence in a worldwide. Then we call it as a turbulence. Otherwise, turbulence happening every day, every night, until unless you feel the turbulence. And I'll tell you, during this turbulence only, if you are looking your true opportunities for which you are focused. अर्जुन को तो सिर्फ आंख नजर आ रही थी, बाकी सबको बहुत कुछ नजर, अर्जुन को सिर्फ आंख नजर आ रही थी. एंड दोज आर द फोकस्ड. दे नो दैट हाउ टू रीच टू माय गोल. It is a material, whether it's a winter, whether it's a summer, whether it's a turbulence, or whether it's a study. They know that I'm a focused. And when they're focused, the immaterial, whether my bank is closed, whether my father is giving me blessings or not, but they are focused. This is what. आज भी पक्षी सुबह 6 बजे उठ के अपना खाना खाने ढूंढने के लिए निकल पड़ते. चाहे आपको आंधी आई थी, तूफान आई थी, आपके टावर गिरे थे, आपकी होर्डिंग्स गिर गई थी, पक्षी का घोंसला गिर गया था, सुबह 6 बजे फिर भी चिड़िया बाहर आपको मिलती है, बिकॉज दे आर फोकस्ड. But we human being, so many times we put this, that's what Jagmohan ji said. We create our own forces on us, that we create ourselves to make some, the apathy, sympathy, and these kind of things. So this is one turbulence. I think in my domain area, turbulence is 24/7. If we can control my inner turbulence, this outer turbulence, जब वो तत्ती तवी पे बैठ रहे थे, टर्बुलेंस तो बहुत थी, लेकिन वो तो बहुत शांत थे, बिकॉज मन जीता है, जग जीत. So that was the thing, and it is very much clear given by our Shastra and Granthas. And this turbulence is bringing lot many opportunities. I think we'll speak more on this in coming time. Yeah.
Yes, sir, correctly said. Manjit and Jagjit, we have to win our own self first and then only we can do something. अपने आप ਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਮਨ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਨ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਤਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ until we have that in our control, how can we actually attain our goals? Turbulence has always been there, very rightly said. हाँ, just now, presently because it's there in the whole of the world, not in a particular community or not in a particular state or a country. So therefore we can feel it more now. Correct, sir. Mr. Jagmohan, you would like to add something to this?
It's actually difficult to add anything after what Dr. Manna has shared. It's really brilliant. I was enjoying it so much. Well, if a little bit I can contribute, it's that, yeah, we are currently living in a world where the pace of change has become to the level of disruption. So we're experiencing disruption in every industry, in every sector, in every way. It's disruption in the way we live, the way we govern ourselves, the way we play, the way we take care of our health, and so many other areas. And this disruption is caused in a way by the fourth industrial revolution, where everything is coming together. You saying that, like, for example, artificial intelligence, the nanotechnology, the advanced algorithms, the virtual reality, augmented reality, blockchain, all of them coming together, and the lines are blurring between the digital world and the biological world. So you see things are coming into our lives. It's very invasive already nowadays. Like, for example, in future, you will have your wearables talking to each other. You will have your spectacles in future talking to your, maybe your shoes, and your shoes talking to your shirt, and your specs talking to your earrings and everything. And you'll have little nanobots cruising in your veins and regulating your body. And it'll come to a point also where at night you sleep, and you wake up in the morning, you will have your own artificial intelligence assigned to you. So which means that you won't carry phones anymore. You will have like an artificial intelligence. Like if you watched Iron Man Jarvis, the Jarvis that is connected, or the Friday they call it, the youngsters know this. And you wake up and you ask, how am I this morning? And your artificial intelligence will tell you that, okay, you're doing great. This is your heart rate. This, you had 2-3 hours deep sleep or whatever it is. And I noticed when you went last night to Joginder's party, you picked up a bug, a flu bug, but no worries. I released the antibiotics through the air conditioning, and you're fine now. And so it's becoming into a world which is very disruptive already. And the thing we have to realize is that the demands are increasing much more in today's world. If you, a few hundred years ago, a human being, he comes up, he wakes up in the morning until he sleeps at night, he only had to make about 200 to 300 major decisions in a day. Today, the internet, if you look up, you will see that we are making 35,000 decisions a day. So the demands have increased. And what is causing this demand? A lot of organizations are terming it as VUCA, the VUCA world, VUCA. It stands for volatile, uncertain, ambiguous, uncertain and ambiguous. Volatile, complex, uncertain, and ambiguous. It's actually a term which was originally coined up by the American Army, but then it got imported by the corporates because it made a lot of sense. So, what exactly is VUCA? If you're talking about volatile, things are moving in a very volatile, up and down fashion, dynamic change, and you have to make decisions in this kind of situation. And then in the area of uncertainty, you have less amount of information, and yet you have to make decisions. And then complexity is when you have so many variables, interdependencies coming into the picture, and you have to take a decisions. And finally, ambiguous is gray area. You don't have for certain whether it's this or that, and yet you have to take a decision. So how do we operate in a VUCA environment? How do we make ourselves adaptable? The question we have to ask ourselves is this: the future is very uncertain. Um, so how do we prepare our students, our learners, our graduates for jobs that haven't been created? technology that hasn't been invented, and problems that we haven't anticipated yet. So this is the challenge that we have. How do we prepare them for such a reality? Yeah. And so that's why it's important to realize that today the pace of change is such that from a simple idea, from the point you have an idea to it becoming a $1 billion venture, it takes the shortest amount of time. This is how exciting a life we are living right now. So it's not all doom and gloom, it's also very exciting. From the moment you have a bright idea to the point it becomes a $1 billion venture, it takes the shortest amount of time and this current human evolution that we are living today, because you have all the platforms there to see you succeed. You have your venture capitalists, your angel investors, your sovereign wealth funds, your initial coin offerings, and all to make it happen. So how do you capitalize on it? And we have to realize also that one thing, we're living in a situation where we're seeing business models change by the day. We're seeing that you can launch a business through your phone, and we are moving from ownership to accessibility. So you're seeing that things are changing in the era of gig economy. If I were to ask, in terms of ownership to accessibilities, does Grab or Uber own any cars? No, they don't. Does Facebook or Instagram own any content? No, they don't. Does Amazon or Lazada and this kind of companies, do they own much of the inventory? Not really. And so it's like Airbnb also. Do they own any properties? No. So we're moving from very different business models, And they say that 80% of the Fortune 500 companies are going to be replaced in a matter of 2 years by companies which haven't even been born yet. And these are likely companies that are going to be birthed by students in campus or students launching it in their garages. So to give you the extent of how the change is coming in the disruption that is coming, according to World Economic Forum, you're going to have 85 million jobs that are going to be replaced in a matter of 2 years. And in its place, you're going to have 97 million new type of jobs. So how do you upskill and reskill yourself to such a reality? So this is what I would like to stress, that we are living actually in a very volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous environment. And what does it take inside of you? I really like what Dr. Manpreet Singh Manna said, that if you are stable inside, to achieve that, the rola khatam inside of you, to achieve the stillness, to achieve that the avastha, where Sunas Mother, whatever you call it, where you complete peace, regardless of the hurricane that is happening around you, you won't be affected. And so it's very important to see the concept of emotional intelligence. First, you have to attain your self-awareness. Once you attain your self-awareness, you are able to then self-manage, self-regulate. Because what you don't know, you cannot do something about it. Only from there, then you move on to social awareness and finally relationship management. So these are the concepts and principles of emotional intelligence. I really like what he said, that it's really to master yourself within, and everything external will be will be manageable. Because I like how he put it, that it's the external environment that's so noisy, but you have to rise. Our Gurbani tells us we have to rise above Dokha and Sokha also and reach to a point of Ananda. Once you're at a state of Ananda, then it doesn't matter, what happens around you. Thank you.
Yes, so we have to anticipate the problems in future accordingly. And what you mentioned, that so many jobs would be replaced by some other jobs, that means we need to be skilled for that. So we need to anticipate not only the problems, and there is really hope for the youth of today, that they still have the chance, just in case they get skilled accordingly, they have the chance for a very good future. Yes, it's a turbulent time, but we still have hope as well. And yes, as we also got a comment just now, that inner peace has to be attained, just what Dr. Manna and you also mentioned. Inner peace is actually everything. We do not, regardless of what is happening outside, because whatever we have put as a goal, it's quite possible that some other person may be taking it in a different manner, we may be taking it in a different manner, and we may not be even having a perfect combination of all the ingredients as you just mentioned for success. But at the same time, if we have peace within ourselves, we can attain success. Dr. Indrapreet, now moving forward, what is your perspective in the times of turbulence? Because both of them have actually said that turbulence is outside. So, uh, and we have to, even if it's there in our minds, we have the capacity to maintain calmness there. And something else you would like to suggest in terms of technology, that do you think that we just what Mr. Mohan also mentioned regarding technology and the skills and all, what do you have to say in this? Do we need to adapt to newer technology and skills?
Okay, let me first brief out about the turbulence. Like this very rightly said, Manjite Jagjit and have the inner peace. But definitely rightly said, as per my perspective, life is just like a book, and each day is like a chapter of that book. So when we write something in as a chapter, we face so many problems, so many challenges. Sometimes grammatical errors, sometimes there is a like we are not able to represent or write the thoughts itself, or maybe spelling errors. Similarly is a day or is a life where we feel challenges in a number of ways. So as per me, life is nothing but challenges, and challenges is nothing but the goal which we have to achieve. So stay focused, have faith, stay positive. Don't say pity about yourself. Oh my God, एक ही हो गया. Or for that to achieve or to stay positive in the turbulent time, because the turbulence is very much related to the aerodynamics. The dictionary meaning it is related with. So the turbulence is very much common in the pilots or the aviation industry. But do you know these pilots really enjoy the turbulence? They feel or they face turbulence during each time they fly. So whenever there is rate of change of speed of air, they face the turbulence. Similarly is the way with us. It is not the technical term. Even as a housewife or as a home engineer, we can face the turbulence. Sometimes kids or family demands something, but due to the grocery issue, especially during this pandemic issue when the shops are not available, so that change or that challenge to satisfy the need of the family, that challenge is also faced by a homemaker. So that challenge or turbulence is not related to our professional life only, it may be at personal front also. So for that, definitely, if Manna sir allow me, I can try to use his one of the copyright, that is the naughtiness question, that is NQ. So may I sir use that your concept to elaborate here more? Thank you, sir.
Please,
So,
please.
okay. So, how to face the turbulence or challenge is we all are very rightly agreed upon that we should be stay positive, stay optimistic, but above all, we should stay. We should have that along with the EQ. We should have NQ with us, so that due to that naughtiness caution, we should remain stable or we should remain positive. And second, the thing which is related to the transformational or other things, that is like we can have the transformation, because due to transformation we can definitely adapt to the new environment of the challenge. For instance, we can take the example of a teacher or a faculty member of a school or of a university. Right now we are very well doing our duties near about to the perfection as a conventional teacher. But during this pandemic situation or this turbulent situation, we have to shift to a digital teacher. So for that, we need to be transformed. So that adaptive nature should be there to face that challenge, and take your challenge as a goal. And for achieving that goal, you have to stay positive, focused, and resilient. So the resilience and like you have to stay, you have the patience to have, don't be get irritated, oh what happens, like that. And second is, you should be more creative, involve yourself to solve that issue. Otherwise vela man shaitan da kar, we will connect with the negative vibes. So that is how I think we can meditate ourselves to solve that issues. So this is from my side. Thank you.
I really like the way, Dr. Indopi, the two main examples, being a female and being a teacher, that you gave. If something is missing there as a part of resources in the kitchen, and we are told to make something, but children are actually expecting us to make something of their choice. And Mr. Jagmohan also mentioned that we have to take everything as a challenge, and so there's no harm if we are lacking resources. Go ahead and create something new, create something more exciting. Probably that would be more appreciated and taken by the other people. uh, and the example that you gave of the students, yes, we have to actually take the charge. I believe we have to now take the control of the situation for the students, for the youth. Mr. Jagmohan, now coming to you again, you took you used the word EI, emotional intelligence. So, how far is that important for being successful?
Yeah, I would request that, if anybody were to refer to the trending skills according to the best source, which is the authority World Economic Forum. So if you look at the reports from World Economic Forum, you'll see the trending skills as what skills are becoming more higher in demand and what are becoming lower. And you will find that majority of the skills that are needed in future are human-only traits, which are everything to do with emotional intelligence. These are skills like problem solving skills, creativity, originality, leadership skills, influencing people, and innovativeness. And you see, you'll find a lot of these skills are in the area of emotional intelligence, because all the other skills which are replicable will be taken over by artificial intelligence or robotics or the other things. So those things are like manual dexterity kind of jobs, and everything are gone. They will be replaced. So at every single industry, you will see changes are happening. You'll see, like in the banking sector or the financial sector, advanced algorithm has caused havoc. A lot of branches are closing, a lot of jobs have gone. In the medical industry, you'll see artificial intelligence is getting smarter in doing diagnosis better than even some of the top doctors. Even in the legal side, you will find that Ross, the supercomputer, has taught IBM's Watson to do paralegal work, and is 70% more accurate than human beings. So basically, in every sector, you will see that disruption is happening. And those jobs which can be replaced are mostly like, normal data entry and manual dexterity kind of jobs, which robotics can take over. So in future, what becomes more vital, more important, are the human only traits. These are the traits that are going to be very important. And that's why it's very important also, we talk about success, to find your core purpose. uh, Great people like Elon Musk and all are saying that in future, if today you ask a doctor, um, who is he will say, I'm a person who saved people's lives. And if you ask a policeman, who is he say, I'm a person who keep people safe. But in future, if robotics were to take over their jobs, then what would be their core purpose? If you ask the doctor again, okay, fine, now who are you? They'll be stuck. They don't know what to say, because now somebody else is saving lives, or somebody else is keeping the streets safe. So how do you find meaning and purpose in your life? And for that, I always recommend that you turn to Tansri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, because all the answers are there. It's there that you seek your answers, and we read it daily also, the answer of why you are your existence, through RERAS and all. So coming back to the World Economic Forum skills, do look at the skills which are becoming trending more and more important, and you got to work on that, because getting the academic certificate, the degree, is to get you the job, right? Academic excellence will get you the job, but what determines whether you go higher and higher and become the CEO of the company is your emotional intelligence. or the lack of it will cause you to be kicked out and get fired. So that's why, if you ask me why emotional intelligence is very important, because it is so vital. It gives the ability, and you'll find that a lot of studies have been done. People who are better in terms of emotional intelligence, they have better jobs, they earn higher salaries, and their professional life is healthy as well as their personal life. They live very healthy family lives as well. So it's very vital holistically, all rounder. One thing we have to tell our students also, when you're talking about turbulent times and everything, when they are hit by it, it's okay to be not okay. We sometimes we tell them that they have to be perfect. Not really. It's okay to not be okay. So because when they realize that, the sense of awareness to realize, okay, I'm not doing well, and then to seek support, and turn to themselves. So very important is growth mindset, to teach students about growth mindset versus fixed mindset, and to tell them what the difference is. So for those who are going to go for the growth mindset, to tell them that, you need to turn and realize and learn about your strengths, learn about your personality type, learn about your strengths. Once you know your strengths, when you're hit with trouble times, you can turn to your strengths to come out of it. And then to tell them also that have a strategy before you even encounter tough times. Have a strategy. And when you are there, it's very important then to put an effort, not just having a strategy. You need to put an effort. And finally, identify sources which you can seek support, whether it's resources or people around you. So when we teach them all these strategies and the understanding and basically what growth mindset is all about, then they will be able to go through turbulent times in a very healthy manner. And it's important to reward and to tell the students that, compliment them on their effort. It's very important because Carol Dweck, she did a study where, about growth mindset and fixed mindset. She divided two cohorts of students, two group of students. One group of students, she told them when they did well, "Oh, you guys are excellent, you're wonderful, you're so smart, you're so intelligent and everything." The other group of students, whenever she would just say that, "Good effort. I admire the effort that you put in." In the long run, I found that the students who were complimented on their effort kept going higher and higher. They kept improving and getting smarter and smarter. Whereas the students who were told that, they are, "Wow, you're so smart, you're so intelligent, you're brilliant," they felt that they didn't need to grow anymore. They just stopped there. So it's important to understand the psychology behind when we are motivating or inspiring students as well. Thank you.
Yes, so we need to, definitely, we all require appreciation and motivation from the other person for all the work that we are doing so that we can definitely progress in the right manner. Dr. Manna, if we continue with this, do you really think that yes, technology is obviously it is going to change, but accordingly, we need to be pragmatic also, we need to be rational and logical accordingly, we have to make strategies because having good academic record is not sufficient now. We need to have more of skills. What do you think in this perspective? What more kind of skills apart from what sir has just mentioned? One more thing I would like to ask you about competition, because if I am doing something, because generally students always feel that I am going to excel something, I am doing this course or coding or something and all, so the other person will also be doing the same thing, and somewhere there comparison comes. At the same time, we have to tell the students, even if both of you are doing the same thing, but your skill set is definitely different, your mindset is definitely different, so do they need to fear competition also? So can you just explain on these 2 points?
Yes, definitely. It's a very, sometimes we call it as a very common question to be asked in the society, in the parents, in the PTM, and it's a very complicated question also to be answered. And everybody have their own perspective to put. Of course, I may read 5 books, which is a set of other books of philosophers, which maybe not Jagmohanji have read, or maybe Dr. Indrapreet may not have read. So it does not mean that what they are going to put a word over here, it doesn't have the relevancy. It has the relevancy. You may like to read Hindustan Times. I am reading something in the Hindu. If editor's viewpoint is going to become my viewpoint, then I can say that I think I am missing something in my IQ, in my EQ. And other than this, there are more strong questions which we have. What Jagmohanji said over here, it is a really a smart thing came. That is the emotional intelligence. Basically, it's a combo pack. It is a combination of IQ and EQ, and it becomes an emotional intelligence. Because from last 2 3 decades, we observed that our parents, especially in my country, I don't know because I've visited many countries, but I could not meet across the parents I didn't see. In India, it is a being a largest company, a huge country where we have to be have the lot much competition to be get even admissions, to be get a job, or even to get a good position, appraisals, etc. We believe to be cracking questions. We believe to cracking puzzles. Of course, we want to do the quantitative aptitude. We want to do the analysis. We want to the rationalization and of course reasoning. End of the day, we were going to be put a IQ at the highest position. And today now we are facing this turbulence because of that only. We given this kind of mind to today our son and daughter that how to make a profit, but somehow we fail to teach the ethics same times. We fail to bring the spiritual quotient at time. If somebody is dying and you're putting a water in a bottle and you are saying it is a true medicine and you take a injection of it, you're putting something wrong. And one same cylinder of worth of 10,000 you are paying, you are asking for 2 lakh rupees from ambulance from 2 kilometers travel from here to there. IQ is there. You know the opportunity. Now this time my auto rickshaw can become ambulance. My this particular job can be done. In a night only, that guy, he made an ambulance with a bike only. That is a IQ. Innovation is there. But innovation with the emotional, then it is oxygen langar. It happened. Oxygen langar also happened. Many, they have served langar like oxygen in many gurdwaras and temples even. Same time, at the neighboring shop, he's selling a cylinder like anything. Like it's not a cylinder, it's a jewels. It's, I think, gems. Because EQ was missing. SQ was the spiritual quotient. Spiritual quotient in any organization, if it is a missing. I'll just give an example. Why? Why only the Tata have decided that whoever died due to COVID, we are going to continue their salary till their retirement time, superannuation time. Many more companies follow this guidelines, follow this philosophy. But when we talk about this kind of consciousness, it means some organizations, some companies, some individuals, they have kept SQ balanced along with the EQ and IQ. Then I think nothing remains. To become a balanced person, either it's a politician, either it's a scientist, or even a rickshaw puller. If you want to become a balanced human being in your work, in your family, I think you have to maintain the quotients. I think I should not give any example. You see many people in my country and this world, those are very much famous outside. Those are very popular. They are the celebrities. At home, they have so many rola. Some divorce cases are going on. Some domestic violence is going on. Some, if you take an interview of their kids and maybe family, they say we are deprived. We do not get my father's true affection. My mother is a great banker in this country, India, but she never given. But same time, you might have found some people. Those are the role model not only for the society, for the family. And I tell you, if you want to see the success, if you will find a person who's equally happy with the family and society, then I think this is the success. Success is not only to make a money. Success is not only to get your name on the big boards and in news channels. And success is to be a complete human being, to serve others, but with the true means. Serve others with the true means. If your means are wrong and your intentions are wrong, niti and niyat, if both are true, niti and niyat, then even turbulence will not affect you. And last, in the concluding point, you see the history from last 2 centuries even. Whenever this kind of turbulence or this kind of situation, calamity, or you can disaster, or you can say pandemic came, after that the great innovation came, growth came, change came, and that change is always good for. Change is always good for. At least if we find today this turbulence has come. Turbulence is what? You're looking to the one health point, you're looking to the economy point, you're looking to the political scenario, you're looking to the your maybe banking scenario. Turbulence you find everywhere. But do you think that one vaccine will complete all that? Okay, you are giving vaccination to yourself. Can this vaccination given to RBI? Can this vaccination given to the schools and colleges to be bring their one academic year back, which they have lost? Because that's online teaching in India, being a internet connectivity, disconnectivity, you see, can't be vaccinated. We can vaccinate it for future. Who will recover my present, which I'm losing from last 18 months? That can be recovered if we not try to remember the past, and if we don't be a fearful keeping the future in mind. I think we should live in the present. That there is a whenever you take a sampling of any sample of turbulent fluid, at sampling it is a steady state, because sample of minute. If you take a present, today you are talking me now, I'm not turbulent, I'm talking to you, you are listening to me, I'm very happy, I'm so pleasant. This is my present. After 30 minutes, I don't know what is going to be happen with me, and even with this world, I don't know. But presently my internet is there, my electricity is there, my breath is there, I'm comfortable, my energy, so there is no turbulence. Dr. Manna is not feeling any turbulence at present. And I'll tell you, you ask any human body in this world, at present, sir, turbulent? No, I'm not. Whether he is in water, whether he's on earth, whether he's in air, he said no turbulent. Turbulence is because of future fear, automatic negative thoughts. That is ants which are disturbing you. So this is the combination of the questions. I think we have to make it, and this makes us successful. That's it.
Yes, perfectly explained. So that we started in the beginning from the values part, whatever has been fed in us as in the form of values, and if we are adhering to those concepts, and if we are working with the good niti and niyat, and according to the values, with good intentions, I think we then the definition of success is totally changed now. It's no more only earning profits. It's no more earning only a very good position somewhere. But I am like, this is what I could understand from this conversation, and I'm really sure the audience also. Success means actually feeling contented, and whatever we have put as our goals, and those goals were put by us by ourselves on the basis of the values that we have inherited from our family, from our peer, from our environment. And if you're able to attain those, I think we are successful. And yes, we have to live in the present. If we are happy at the moment in the present, we are successful. We are getting so many good comments from all the audience. Thank you so much to all the audience, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel also, so that you keep on getting alerts for all the new upcoming videos and talk shows that we are organizing here. So finally, coming to the conclusion for today, I'll come to you all one by one again, and for the concluding comments from each one of you. Dr. Inderpreet, we'll start with you, please. Anything
Uh,
you would like to add to today's
yeah.
conversation about today's topic?
Because it was very well elaborated, explained by the both the things. So my one point is that we should not shield our kids or the students in the school from the originality of life's difficulty, because it is their actually resiliency training. So endurance training through the pain of originality of the life. So we should share them the real difficulties of the life, because we nowadays we are building our society in such a way, or at the home in a sheltered environment. But no, we have to train our kids or the students to face the difficulty of a life has. So the concluding part from my side is, be stay positive, be optimistic, face the challenges with a real enthusiasm. चलता रहूंगा पथ पर, चलता रहूंगा पथ पर, चलने में माहिर बन जाऊंगा, या तो मंजिल मिल जाएगी, या अच्छा मुसाफिर बन जाऊंगा. So stay positive, stay the difficulty, keep the difficulties as the challenges. Thank you.
Such an amazing conclusion you've done, Dr. Inderpreet. Yes, we have to be courageous. At the same time, we have to be willing to take risk also. And the same thing we have to share with our children. They have to be willing to accept the risks and try to focus on more of the positive feelings than the negative ones. Mr. Jagmohan will come to you for the concluding comments, please.
Sure, yeah. I think we've all concluded very well. So I would just say that, it's really your creative potential to achieve what you were meant to be, the purpose, the original intent to be who you are. So that's pursuing it, that will make you successful. We don't know. Some of our students are going to go on and invent a device that will help millions of handicapped people around the world. Some of our students may find their purpose to become a good politician for a change. Some of them may find that inside of them that seed to go on and alleviate sufferings and save lives around the world, whatever it is, regardless. So internally, find what that purpose is and to achieve it, that's success. And also just to say that success is not about that fancy car, the sports car that you're going to drive. Success is not about the big house you're going to own by the lake. It's not about your bank balance. It's not about the number of friends that you have. It's not about the accolades that you're going to receive or the plaques on the back of your wall. It's none of those. Success is simply finding why you've been put on this world and trying to achieve it. And sometimes we don't know, we don't have the answer. So my advice is to turn to your maker, to your Kartapurk, turn to your maker to find that answer because he knows the answer before he even put you on in this world. So it's to connect with him, spend time with him, and to realize and find out what is it that you were meant to be doing here. Thank you.
Thank you. Realizing the purpose of our existence on this earth and accordingly working in the raza of God, of Almighty. Finally, Dr. Manpreet Manna, your concluding comments for today.
Yeah, I'll just say in a one word, keeping yourself happy without making others to cry. And as per the mandate given by our Guru Granth Sahib, Sarbadda Pala, that's it. You are a most successful person on this earth if you can keep yourself happy, but not on the cost of somebody's tears. Then you are a successful man. That's what I just want to say. Thank you.
Very nicely concluded. I always actually appreciate the way you always you use a phrase and quote from Gurbani, for especially for those audience who may not be familiar with Gurbani, and they get to know so much more, and even their respect towards Gurbani increases. Yes, Sarbada Pala, and this is what I have personally also realized, that whenever I'm doing, I try to do at least one good act every day. And if at all I'm, and this is what I tell my students also. We normally discuss in the class that tomorrow, whenever you come, you have to tell me about one good act that you did. Even if that was helping your mother in the kitchen, even or till you are paying your the fee for your maid's child out of your pocket money, whatever small or big that you can do. And this is what I have realized: if I try to do one good deed, it comes back in the same form. I have really realized that the Sarbada Pala that you are saying, obviously we may not be doing such big things, but even small things we can cherish and we can do. This is what even I feel, and then definitely we'll feel more contented. At the end of the day, if we are contented, we are successful. Thank you so much for being here today. I really hope that next time also, when we invite you, you would definitely accept our request to be here and to interact with us on newer themes. Thank you so much. Sat Shri Akal ji. Thank you. So this was the fourth online virtual educators talk. I learned a lot from all these personalities today. I'm really sure that all the audience also really liked it, and we would like to adhere these points suggested by all the worthy participants in our own lives also, because ultimately contentment or satisfaction that was explained by them is of utmost relevance, of utmost importance, especially now during pandemic. We are realizing that the most important thing is survival. Leave apart all the luxuries, leave apart all the comforts. At this moment, we just want to survive. That is most important. We need to be contented. We need to live in the present. Yes, definitely. We have to think about the future also, so that we can make the strategies accordingly, so that we know how we have to and where we have to stand in future, at what level. We have to anticipate so many things. We probably have to anticipate problems also. But at the same time, we have to be contented in the present as well. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel so that next time, whenever we are coming up with a new talk show or youth talk show or any other competition or contest, you get to know about that. Thank you so much. Sat Shri Akal ji.